The mean score on a set of 20 tests is 90. Suppose 2 more students take the test and score 62 and 55. What is the new mean? So that's pretty tricky. So we have a mean, an average for 20 tests that's 90, and then 2 more people come and take the test. What's the new mean? How are we going to go about figuring that out? Well, remember how you figure out a mean? What's the formula for a mean? It's the total of all the scores, right? Total of all scores divided by n, where n is the number of scores. So if they tell us that for 20 tests, the mean for 20 tests is 90, that means the mean is 90 for n equals 20 tests. So I can come up here and find the total of those 20 scores, right? That formula must hold because mean, the average, is the total of a bunch of scores divided by n. So forget about these last two right now. We'll get to those in a minute. I'm just saying for the 20 tests, if the mean for the 20 tests is 90, if the mean is 90, then there's some kind of total for the 20 tests, which we don't know yet, divided by 20. So call that total x. Just call that x. And the n is still 20, right? That's the total number of scores, 20 scores. So I can solve for x. I can find x, which is the total of those 20 scores. Right? I'm calling that x. See right here? I'm calling that x. So how do you solve that little equation for x? What do? You gotta, when you have two equal fractions, put this over 1, go diagonal, diagonal. So 90 times 20 is 1 times x. In other words, 2 times 9 is 18, add 2 zeros. So x is 1800. That's the total of all 20 scores. In other words, you can just take 20 scores times an average or mean of 90, 20 times 90, and get 1800 is the total for all the scores. Now bring that up here. I know total of 20 scores equals 1800. That's what I've figured out so far. The total of the first 20 scores, their average was 90, so 20 times 90 is 1800. So now to figure out the new average or mean, including the 2 new scores, what do you got to do? Well, the mean is always the total of all 22 scores divided by 22, right? That's how we figure out a mean. That's the formula for mean, just like it was over here for the first 20. So the total of all 22 scores, how am I going to find the total of all 22 scores? Well, 1800 is the total of the first 20 scores. So that's the total of the first 20, and then we got the 2 new scores, 62 and 55. Add those. That's the total of all 22. Divide by 22. So use your calculator. I'm getting 1917 divided by 22 now. Comes out 87. They want me to round to 1 decimal place, so 87.1. That's the new mean rounded to the 10th. 87.1. So the new average, right, the average was 90. But then these 2 jokers got low scores, so they brought the average down to only 87.1. They brought it down. There we go.